Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a stack of initial reports, security briefings, really trying to give you a fast track to understanding what happened after a major urban attack. But let's set the scene. We're in Old Delhi. It's Monday evening, November 10th, 2025, about 7:15 p.m. Picture it. The Red Fort ramparts there in the background. You've got vendors packing up, commuters rushing for the Red Fort Metro. It's just that normal, intense energy you get in a city this size, the everyday hustle. And then, just like that, it's shattered. Near gate number 1 of the metro station, there's a parked car, a Hyundai i20. It just erupts. A massive deafening roar, a fireball lights up the evening. Then this thick black smoke starts pouring into the sky above Chandni Chowk. Instantly, that commute turns into, well, just sheer panic.
And it became tragically clear very quickly this wasn't some kind of accident. The blast killed at least 9 people right away. Another 24 injured, many seriously. So what we're doing today is breaking down the security response, the investigation that kicked off literally within minutes, and connecting that explosion in Old Delhi to the bigger security picture.
Okay, let's talk about that immediate aftermath. The response sounds like it was incredibly quick. 20 fire engines rushing there.
Almost instantly, yeah.
But security teams, they weren't just thinking fire, were they? They were thinking something else. Sabotage.
Exactly. They sealed off the area incredibly fast. Standard procedure in one sense, but the speed was notable.
So what were the bomb squads, the forensics people, actually looking for on the ground? What tells them IED versus, say, a gas tank explosion?
Right. Well, the initial sweep is all about the residue, chemical traces, specific types of metal fragments, the pattern of the blast damage itself, and crucially, how it was set off. They confirmed pretty quickly it was an improvised explosive device hidden in the car. But what's really striking is how fast that kind of street-level forensic work turns into this huge logistical operation, shutting down parts of a megacity.
Right.
By Tuesday morning, November 11th, dawn, basically, the investigation needed space. Uninterrupted space. So the Delhi police made a pretty drastic call. Starting at 6 a.m., a total road closure on Netaji Subhash Marg.
Wow, okay. Netaji Subhash Marg. That specific stretch from Chatter Rail Cut to Subhash Marg Cut.
That's the one. Both sides of the road, service roads too. Everything shut down.
That's a major artery, isn't it? Connecting the old city with key government areas. That must have caused ripples.
Yeah.
Was there a pushback? Debating if the evidence justified paralyzing that whole zone.
Well, I'm sure there were discussions, but the calculation was clear. Security and the integrity of the evidence had to come first. It overrode the economic disruption, the inconvenience. They needed that heavy hand. Forensics teams needed room to literally comb through everything. Bomb squads had to be certain there weren't any secondary devices. Investigators needed that scene undisturbed to chase down those first critical leads that can just vanish.
And that had a direct impact if you were just trying to get around.
Absolutely. For you, the commuter, the Delhi Metro, DMRC, immediately took the Lal Kila metro station offline. That's the one right there, by the Red Fort. Complete shutdown for security sweeps.
So navigating that whole historic area, trying to get between, say, ITO and Chandni Chowk, forget about it.
Pretty much. You were forced onto detours, roads like E.S. Planter Road, Shraddha Marg. People found out fast that a drive that usually takes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 20 on a good day.
It suddenly became an hour, maybe more. Just gridlock. The advice was clear. Use your navigation apps, be patient, and maybe just avoid the area altogether. Head for Chandni Chowk or Kashmir Gate metro stops instead.
Okay, so the scene itself is locked down. Evidence collection is underway. But the investigation didn't stay local, did it? It branched out fast.
Not at all. It shifted very quickly from the street level to operational intelligence. This became a full-blown counterterrorism probe almost immediately.
And who took the lead?
The National Investigation Agency, the NIA. They took control right away, and they weren't messing around. Charges were filed immediately under the UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act.
The speed they moved at seems significant, tracing things back so quickly.
It's actually chilling. You go from a burnt-out car in Old Delhi, and in less than 24 hours, they have people detained hundreds of kilometers away in Kashmir. We know the car's registered owner, a guy named Abdi Salman, was picked up pretty fast in Gurugram, right there in the Delhi National Capital Region.
Okay.
But the leads, they didn't stop there. They stretched out to Faridabad, also nearby, but then crucially, all the way to Pulwama in Kashmir.
Pulwama. That name definitely rings bells in a security context.
It does. And the detention of 3 men specifically from Pulwama confirmed it. This wasn't just some local plot. This was planned and coordinated from a distance, reaching right into the capital.
Now, there were whispers early on about a specific kind of group involved.
Yeah.
A white-collar terror module. What does that actually mean? Why is that term used? And is it more concerning?
Yeah, that term white-collar terror module refers to something quite specific and, frankly, worrying. We're talking about individuals who are often highly educated. Think engineers, IT specialists, people with professional jobs.
People who blend in easily.
Exactly. They blend into normal urban life. They handle the complex stuff, the logistics, the financing, the secure communications, the sophisticated planning. They're not your typical foot soldiers.
So they're harder to spot using traditional surveillance.
Much harder. They essentially weaponize their professional skills and access. It's about logistical capability, not just, basic recruitment on the street.
And the suspected goal here, it wasn't minor. The initial reports pointed towards a Fedayeen-style attack, a suicide mission.
That's what the early intelligence suggested, yes, a suicide bid. And the scale of what they found later seems to back up the idea of major intent.
What kind of physical evidence are we talking about?
Well, connected to this network, during one of the raids that followed, investigators uncovered nearly 2,900 kilograms of explosives.
2,900 kilos, that's enormous.
It's 2.9 metric tons. Think about that. You don't stockpile that quantity for just one car bomb. That amount suggests planning for something much bigger. Maybe simultaneous attacks, coordinated destruction. It points to a level of operational planning and resource access that's deeply concerning.
Right, far beyond just one incident.
Far beyond. And that massive find quickly led investigators to link the plot to a specific organization, Jaish-e-Mohammed.
And wasn't there chatter from them just before the attack?
There was. Critically, Jaish-e-Mohammed had reportedly issued new threats just days before this explosion happened in Old Delhi. The timing seems significant.
Okay, let's shift up to the government level. How did the top leadership react? Well, the response was immediate and very visible. Home Minister Amit Shah called an emergency meeting straight away with the heads of security agencies, assessing the intelligence, planning the next steps.
High-level coordination.
And Prime Minister Modi was kept in the loop constantly, receiving briefings as the information came in.
It's about projecting control and reassurance in those first critical hours. You also have the Defense Minister, Rajnath Singh, making a very public, very strong statement.
What did he say?
He essentially said, look, the country's best agencies are handling this. They're working swiftly, thoroughly, and he made that promise. The people behind this will be found and brought to justice no matter where they try to hide. It's that combination, rapid action, strong political words, that's meant to counter the fear an attack like this generates.
And the symbolism of the target location wasn't lost either. The Red Fort itself.
India's crown jewel, you could say, where the flag is hoisted on Independence Day.
It was completely closed, wasn't it? For how long?
3 full days. A total shutdown, which felt like a very deliberate pause, a symbolic acknowledgement of the violation the city had just endured.
So this wasn't just a Delhi problem then. The shockwaves spread.
Absolutely not. This triggered a nationwide security response. High alert wasn't just in Delhi. It rippled out across major cities all over the country. Airports, busy markets, train stations, bus terminals, anywhere large numbers of people gather. Security was ramped up everywhere. It's sort of the unseen reality of protecting a massive city or country today. That constant state of vigilance, it has to be there, especially in a city of 30 million, where history and modernity collide constantly.
So looking back at everything we've just unpacked, it's really a tale of two starkly different scenes, isn't it? You have the absolute chaos and tragedy of that Monday evening explosion. Visceral, immediate. And then by Tuesday morning, this incredibly complex, almost invisible machine of security and intelligence clicks into high gear.
Exactly. And things like those detailed road closures we talked about, the detours you had to take, the metro station shutting down, they might seem like just major inconveniences at the time, but they really illustrate the massive, often hidden effort that goes into protecting these vital places, both the historical sites and the modern infrastructure that keeps a city running. It's a constant balancing act.
And that trade-off, security over commerce, security over convenience, it's the price you pay.
It's the calculated cost, yeah. Operating a major global city today means accepting that security can, and sometimes must, instantly take precedence.
So the final thought here, perhaps for you listening, is about the nature of the threat itself. Think about it. The investigation jumped from a Delhi blast to networks deep in Kashmir almost instantly, and they seized that huge cache, nearly 3 tons of explosives. What does that tell us about the hidden infrastructure, the persistent organized threat that operates, just beneath the surface of everyday urban life?
And maybe how quickly does that sense of resilience we all have need to flip into full-scale vigilance in a city like Delhi or any major global hub?
It's a complex challenge. Protecting these sprawling, dynamic cities,
Yeah.
it's a constant evolving task, something to definitely keep thinking about.